Imagine for a moment that every no you receive in life isn't an insurmountable obstacle, but an opportunity to grow and learn. This is a powerful idea that comes to us from the ancient philosophy of Stoicism. Today, we are going to dive deep into how to turn rejection into an opportunity for personal growth and development. We are inspired by the teachings of Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, who, despite facing numerous challenges in his life, found the wisdom and strength to face rejection with courage and determination. Rejection is a common experience in everyone's life, whether it's a job application, a business proposal, or a declaration of love. We've all experienced the feeling of being turned down at some point. However, what separates resilient and successful people is how they choose to respond to rejection. Instead of being consumed by despair or self-pity, they opt to see rejection as a chance to learn and grow. So join us as we explore this topic. Lesson number 1. Do not beg for attention. Stoicism offers wise lessons about love and the importance of not begging for affection from those who do not value it. The premise is clear. Do not beg for love from those who have no time for you, from those who only think of themselves. This resonant statement reflects the Stoic philosophy that embraces the idea of living according to virtue and reason, even in the realm of personal relationships. The act of begging for love suggests an emotional imbalance, where one party desperately seeks attention and affection, while the other acts with indifference. From the Stoic perspective, this goes against the idea of relationships based on equality and reciprocity. It emphasizes the importance of setting boundaries and recognizing our own worth, avoiding the emotional degradation that comes from constantly seeking validation from those unwilling to give it. The premise that someone who makes you feel invisible and insignificant with their indifference does not deserve you highlights the need to value your own dignity in relationships. In an authentic connection, every individual should feel recognized and appreciated. Stoicism advocates for cultivating relationships based on mutual respect, where indifference and lack of attention have no place. A practical example could be a relationship in which one person constantly seeks the attention and love of their partner, but receives indifference in return. Instead of continuing to beg for affection, a Stoic approach would suggest self-evaluation and recognition of one's worth. The decision not to tolerate indifference and to set healthy boundaries helps maintain emotional integrity and promote more equitable relationships. Love, according to Stoicism, is manifested in actions rather than words. You are not deserving of someone who only seeks you out when they need something, but of someone who is by your side when you need them, not just when it suits their interest. This principle emphasizes the importance of constant presence and mutual support in a relationship. Stoicism advocates for relationships based on genuine commitment and reciprocity rather than emotional convenience. Lesson number 2. Cut the contact. In the context of interpersonal relationships, one of the fundamental principles embraced by Stoic philosophy is the importance of setting healthy boundaries. This approach does not necessarily mean distancing oneself from people, but rather involves establishing clear boundaries and defining the level of interaction that we consider beneficial for our emotional and mental well-being. In many cases, cutting contact can be a necessary measure to preserve our inner peace and maintain a balanced life. This does not imply being insensitive or inconsiderate, but rather recognizing when a relationship has become toxic or detrimental to our personal growth. The ability to say no and set boundaries is not only an act of self-assertion, but also an act of self-compassion. From the Stoic perspective, the act of cutting contact is based on the recognition of what is within our control and what is not. Accepting that we cannot change others, but can control our own actions and decisions, empowers us to make choices aligned with our values and personal goals. It is important to highlight that cutting contact is not an impulsive act, but a carefully considered decision based on discernment. Stoic philosophy encourages us to reflect on the relationships in our lives, evaluating whether they contribute to our flourishing or cause unnecessary suffering. By doing so, we position ourselves as the architects of our social experiences, taking control of our lives and distancing ourselves from relationships that may undermine our emotional well-being. A concrete example might be a friendship that, over time, has proven to be more harmful than beneficial. If the relationship is characterized by manipulation, disrespect, or constant negativity, a Stoic might decide to cut contact to preserve their own mental and emotional peace. This act is not an impulsive abandonment, but a conscious recognition that maintaining that relationship does not contribute to the individual's personal and emotional growth. Lesson number 3. Don't react emotionally. When we face rejection, we often experience an emotional roller coaster, from sadness and disappointment to anger and self-pity. However, Stoicism offers a radically different approach to dealing with these situations. Instead of allowing our emotions to dominate us, it teaches us to embrace serenity and personal growth, even in the most challenging moments. One of the fundamental premises of Stoicism is the notion that we cannot control what happens externally, but we can control our responses and attitudes toward those situations. In the context of rejection, this means recognizing that we cannot control how others perceive or judge us, but we can control how we react to their rejection. Rather than seeking external validation or allowing rejection to undermine our self-esteem, Stoicism urges us to seek inner peace and self-acceptance. This involves recognizing our own intrinsic worth and not relying on the judgment of others to feel good about ourselves. One of the central practices of Stoicism is meditating on adversity. Instead of avoiding or resisting rejection, it encourages us to face it head-on and reflect on how we can grow from that experience. Rather than seeing rejection as an insurmountable obstacle, we can view it as an opportunity to strengthen ourselves and develop as individuals. Another important aspect of Stoicism is the concept of amor fati, or love of fate. This means accepting not only the good things that happen to us, but also the adversities and rejections as an integral part of our human experience. Instead of lamenting what could have been, we can fully embrace our reality and find meaning and purpose, even in the most difficult situations. Lesson number 4. Cultivate inner peace. In the framework of Stoicism, finding inner peace becomes a fundamental goal. Stoics teach that true happiness lies in the ability to maintain calm and serenity in the face of external circumstances, regardless of life's ups and downs. Instead of seeking happiness in the fulfillment of desires or the absence of conflict, Stoicism proposes finding it in accepting what we cannot change and in controlling our own reactions to adversity. One of the keys to finding inner peace, according to Stoicism, is the practice of self-discipline and self-control. This means learning to manage our emotions and thoughts consciously and rationally. Stoics believed in the importance of cultivating a calm and balanced mind, even in the midst of the most challenging situations. This means learning to recognize and accept our emotions without allowing them to dominate us, adopting an attitude of acceptance and serenity when facing life's inevitable difficulties. Another fundamental aspect of the pursuit of inner peace, according to Stoicism, is developing a sense of detachment from external things. Stoics taught that true happiness does not lie in the accumulation of material wealth or the pursuit of sensory pleasures, but in virtue and wisdom. Therefore, Finding inner peace involves learning to value what truly matters in life and letting go of excessive attachment to material things and external expectations. Additionally, Stoicism emphasizes the importance of living in harmony with nature and the natural course of events. This involves accepting that we cannot always control what happens around us, but we can control how we choose to respond to the situations we face. Instead of resisting or lamenting what we cannot change, Stoicism encourages us to adopt an attitude of acceptance and resignation towards external circumstances, focusing on what we can control, our own actions and attitudes. Another important aspect of Stoicism in relation to inner peace is the concept of living in the present moment. Stoics taught that much of our suffering comes from worrying about the past or the future, rather than focusing on the here and now. Instead of lamenting what might have been or worrying about what is yet to happen, Stoicism encourages us to focus on the present moment and fully enjoy each experience that life offers. Ultimately, finding inner peace, according to Stoicism, involves learning to live with virtue and wisdom, cultivating an attitude of acceptance, detachment, and conscious presence in every moment of life. By practicing these principles, we can experience a profound sense of calm and serenity, regardless of the external circumstances we face. Inner peace becomes a state of balance and inner harmony that allows us to live with fullness and happiness, even in the midst of life's challenges and difficulties. Lesson number 5. Build social status. In the framework of Stoicism, building your social status means going beyond superficial appearances and focusing on cultivating a reputation based on solid and lasting virtues. Stoics believed in the importance of living according to the principles of virtue and wisdom, and considered these qualities fundamental to establishing meaningful relationships and building a solid reputation in society. One of the main virtues that Stoics promoted was honesty. They believed that honesty was the foundation of all other virtues and that it was essential to build strong and positive relationships. Being honest in all your interactions, both in words and actions, will help you earn the trust and respect of others, which in turn will contribute to strengthening your social status. Another fundamental virtue in building your social status, according to Stoicism, is justice. Stoics believed in the importance of treating others with fairness and respect and doing what is right, even when no one is watching. Acting with justice in all your relationships will help you earn the admiration and respect of others and will help you build a reputation for integrity and moral uprightness. In addition to honesty and justice, Stoics also valued moderation and temperance. They believed in the importance of maintaining balance in all areas of life and avoiding extremes. Practicing moderation in your actions and decisions will help you maintain composure and emotional stability, which in turn will contribute to strengthening your social status and reputation in society. In terms of building strong and positive relationships, Stoics emphasized the importance of cultivating friendship based on virtue. They believed that friendships based on shared values and mutual respect were fundamental to personal well-being and growth. By surrounding yourself with people who share your values and principles, you will be able to build strong and lasting relationships that support you on your journey toward moral and personal excellence. Another important strategy for building strong and positive relationships, according to Stoicism, is to practice empathy and compassion for others. Stoics believed in the importance of putting oneself in others' shoes and trying to understand their perspectives and experiences. Practicing empathy will help you build deeper and more meaningful connections with others and allow you to build relationships based on understanding and mutual support. Lesson number 6. The process of facing rejection and transforming it into a driving force for personal growth is a fundamental teaching within the framework of Stoicism. Beyond merely countering the negative opinions of others, this approach invites us to view rejection as an opportunity to strengthen our resilience and demonstrate our capacity for adaptation. Each time we face rejection, we are presented with the chance to challenge our limited perceptions and prove that we are capable of overcoming any obstacle. In this process, it is essential to stop seeking external validation and focus on improving our own skills and abilities. Our achievements should be the manifestation of our effort and dedication, speaking for themselves without the need for boasting or fanfare. Stoicism teaches us to cultivate an attitude of humility and allow our achievements to reflect our unwavering commitment to excellence and continuous personal growth. At the same time, the process of facing rejection is not just about proving our worth to others, but also about redefining our own perception of ourselves. By understanding our true capabilities and strengths, we emerge from rejection with greater confidence in our abilities and increased self-assurance. Each experience of rejection gives us the opportunity to grow and strengthen ourselves, preparing us to face future challenges with determination. Instead of letting rejection defeat us, Stoicism teaches us to use it as a springboard to reach new heights on our journey toward success and personal fulfillment. Every time we face rejection, we have the opportunity to learn, grow, and evolve as individuals. It is through adversity that we find our true inner strength and the determination to persevere in the pursuit of our highest goals and aspirations. Lesson number 7, go out and have fun. In the face of rejection, going out and having fun is a way to show unwavering courage that allows us to embrace happiness to its fullest. Instead of being consumed by discouragement or sadness when we encounter rejection, we choose to face it with courage and determination, finding a way to lift our spirits, even in the toughest moments. This bold and deliberate attitude drives us to challenge adversity instead of retreating into the comfort of isolation. Seeking out experiences that bring us happiness is essential for staying connected to the joy of living, especially when dealing with rejection. Rather than letting rejection undermine our self-esteem or motivation, we actively seek sources of joy and connection that help us recharge and maintain a positive outlook. Engaging in activities that we are passionate about and that allow us to form meaningful connections with others is a powerful way to counteract the negative effects of rejection and strengthen our emotional resilience. By adopting a brave and determined stance toward the unknown, we transform rejection into an opportunity to grow and learn. Instead of seeing it as an insurmountable obstacle, we view it as an open door to new horizons and possibilities. This mindset allows us to explore new experiences with confidence and determination, knowing that each challenge we overcome brings us closer to personal fulfillment and a more complete life. Every experience, big or small, contributes to enriching our lives and strengthening our emotional resilience. Through shared laughter and moments of connection with others, we find comfort and mutual support that help us navigate tough times with greater ease. Facing rejection with courage and determination allows us to build greater self-confidence and trust in our ability to handle difficult situations. Lesson number 8, don't reveal your struggles. It's essential to approach internal struggles with a stoic mindset. This approach values the strength of privacy and the importance of facing our challenges without compromising our dignity. A key teaching of Stoicism is that our personal struggles are a natural part of life, and revealing them to others can weaken our inner strength. First, it's crucial to recognize that everyone faces internal challenges at some point in their lives. Whether it's the pain of romantic rejection, the fight against adversity, or the search for meaning, These are universal experiences that are part of the human condition. Stoicism reminds us that these struggles are opportunities for growth and personal transformation, and revealing them prematurely can undermine our ability to overcome them. The strength of privacy lies in our ability to process our emotions and reflect on our experiences independently. By keeping our internal struggles to ourselves, we have the opportunity to face them with courage and determination, free from the interference of external opinions. This allows us to develop greater self-awareness and self-control, two fundamental qualities on the path to overcoming challenges. Additionally, privacy gives us the freedom to decide when and how to share our struggles with others. While seeking support in difficult times is important, Stoicism teaches us to do so selectively and mindfully. Rather than revealing our inner struggles in search of immediate validation or comfort, we can seek guidance from trusted individuals who can support us without judgment or compromising our dignity. Lesson 9. Remove them from your mind. In the path of Stoicism, one of the most powerful teachings is the idea of removing negative and toxic thoughts from our minds. This practice not only allows us to achieve a state of inner calm, but it also helps us live more fully and consciously. A fundamental strategy for freeing the mind from negative thoughts is to practice emotional self-control. Stoicism teaches us to recognize our emotions and thoughts, but also urges us not to let them dictate our actions. Instead of reacting impulsively to negative thoughts, we can take emotional distance and observe them objectively. Another effective strategy is practicing gratitude and appreciation for what we have in our lives. Stoicism reminds us that happiness does not depend on external circumstances, but on our attitude towards them. By focusing on the good things around us and the positive experiences we've had, we can counteract negative thoughts and cultivate a more optimistic and grateful mindset. Mindfulness and meditation also play an important role in eliminating negative thoughts. From a Stoic perspective, these techniques help us train our minds to be present in the current moment rather than worrying about the past or future. By cultivating mindfulness, we can observe our thoughts without judgment and let them pass without clinging to them. In summary, removing negative thoughts from our minds is a fundamental skill on the Stoic path. Through strategies such as emotional self-control, gratitude, mindfulness, and meditation, we can free ourselves from the burden of toxic thoughts and live with greater clarity, peace, and happiness. Lesson 10. Be kind, but emotionally distant. In the context of Stoicism, one of the most valuable lessons we can learn is how to be kind but emotionally distant. This idea encourages us to cultivate compassion and kindness towards others without compromising our inner peace or allowing other people's emotions to drag us down. Being kind but emotionally distant means finding a balance between being compassionate and maintaining a certain emotional distance. On one hand, it's important to recognize and respond to others' needs with empathy and kindness. However, it's also crucial to protect our own inner peace and not allow other people's emotions to negatively affect us. One way to practice this skill is to learn to separate our emotions from those of others. This means being able to feel empathy for someone else's suffering without letting it completely absorb us. We can offer support and understanding, but at the same time maintain a degree of emotional distance that allows us to preserve our own emotional stability. Examples of how to practice kindness from emotional distance can include offering practical help to someone in need, like bringing groceries to an elderly neighbor or babysitting for a sick friend, while maintaining emotional reserve to avoid being overwhelmed by the emotions of the situation. In summary, being kind but emotionally distant is an important skill we can cultivate on the Stoic path. It allows us to be compassionate and kind towards others while protecting our own inner peace and emotional stability. Lesson 11. Show your courage. In Stoicism, the idea of demonstrating courage is fundamental. It is a concept that goes beyond physical bravery, encompassing authenticity and integrity in all of our actions and decisions. From this perspective, courage manifests in the ability to face challenges with firmness and dignity, regardless of external circumstances. Authenticity is a key principle in Stoicism. It means being true to oneself and acting according to our deepest values and principles. In a world full of external influences and social pressures, authenticity can be a challenge, but it is essential to living a meaningful and consistent life. Stoicism values honesty with oneself and others, as well as the ability to remain true to oneself, even in difficult situations. Integrity is also a fundamental aspect of courage in Stoicism. It involves acting ethically and morally, even when faced with temptations or external pressures. Demonstrating courage in challenging situations can involve different actions and behaviors depending on the context. For example, in a conflict or confrontation situation, demonstrating courage could mean staying calm and seeking a peaceful solution instead of being carried away by anger or aggression. In a situation of adversity or difficulty, demonstrating courage could involve maintaining a positive attitude and persevering despite obstacles. In the professional realm, demonstrating courage could mean making tough decisions or taking calculated risks for the benefit of the organization or a greater cause. In the personal realm, demonstrating courage might involve facing our fears and stepping out of our comfort zone in pursuit of growth and personal development. In summary, demonstrating courage in Stoicism goes beyond physical bravery. It's about being authentic and acting with integrity in all areas of our lives. From facing challenges with firmness and dignity to staying true to our deepest values and principles, courage in Stoicism is a fundamental quality that helps us live a meaningful and consistent life. Stoic philosophy, as taught by great figures like Marcus Aurelius, offers us a powerful guide for facing the challenges and adversities of life. It teaches us to cultivate inner strength, self-control, and the acceptance of things we cannot change, while focusing on what is within our control, our reactions and attitudes. Rather than allowing rejection, frustration, or adversity to defeat us, Stoicism encourages us to see these obstacles as opportunities for growth and personal development. By applying these principles in our daily lives, we can find serenity, inner peace, and greater clarity in our goals and actions. Each of the lessons we've explored reminds us that, while we cannot control external circumstances, we can always choose how to respond to them. Ultimately, it is this choice that determines our quality of life and our ability to live fully and authentically. We invite you to continue reflecting on these teachings and to put Stoic principles into practice in your daily life. Remember that true power lies within you, in how you think and act. We thank you for your time and hope that this video has been of great help on your journey towards self-understanding and resilience. It would be great if you give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and drop a comment to let YouTube know that this content is making a difference for people like you. Your engagement helps us keep creating more powerful videos just like this, so together we can continue growing and learning. Thanks for being part of the journey.